as the blue team, up against ROCCAT as the red team. The team that are topping the European LCS right now. New team that came through, and you know, we talked about it. And honestly, you know, while we mentioned it, when they came through as KMT, they took down Ninjas in Pajamas. A choice that you and the rest of the team made to face off against his opposition. We talked about when a team comes through the promotion series, wins 3-0. Last time it happened was Cloud9 went on top of the league. Lemon Dogs went on top of the league. Can ROCCAT do the same?
I honestly believe with the way ROCCAT has been playing so far, with the individual play from the players and the coordination as a team, I believe they have what it takes, maybe not to go the same record Cloud9 did, but at least to remain a top team in Europe throughout the entire split. And one thing we actually have to notice here, just the first thing I noticed, is the fact there's an ancient coin onto Vander. This means simply, obviously it means that he's not expecting any poke to come in from Leona, he's not expecting a lot of poke from Caitlyn, because it's very hard for her to get in and hit the Morgana once Lucian is there. So he takes it to get some extra gold and also for an early talisman, so they can do both engages and disengages for ROCCAT.
Well, it is a standoff between both teams. Nobody going for any of that deep early aggression. Nobody really even placing wards out as well, using themselves as wards. So, of course, wards are now available. Everybody pings them down. And that's actually a standard river ward coming out from Zazas in that top lane. So he's making sure he doesn't get caught out by that Lee Sin early aggression. So
we need to see how aggressive ROCCAT want to play this early game. Trundle, he obviously needs some levels, he needs some items. Yasuo as well. He's alright in the laning phase, but he really shines once he gets his static shift and his infinity edge. So if they're going to play a lot of passive early and try and get these items, or are they just going to keep on the aggression?
Well, it's going to be a rotate for the Wolves. They are going to head. They were the first ones to do this in 4.1, actually, if I cast my mind back. So they're going to send Forgiven and Unlimited in towards the top lane, 2v1 in Zazas.
And just like we talked about in Champ Select, Wukong in a lane swap, he's actually very, very strong. He's very hard to dive, so he's fairly safe. And with the teleport as well, he's able to now run around with Amazing, recall, and then teleport down to bot lane once the wave hits in.
This is ballsy play from Kautar, I feel, taking that belly slam at level 1 up against the Yasuo. So how does this matchup lane, get my words out, lane matchup balance out?
Well, obviously there is the poke for Gragas, but there's also a lot of damage from Yasuo if you move into melee range of him. So the reason he took the body slam was, you know, trying to surprise him early game. He wanted him to go in, try and take the trade, and then body slam in his face, see if he can force out a flash. It's something some Gragas, especially over in Korea, actually like to do versus certain matchups, and I kind of respect Kautar for doing this here, trying to force something out early. Yeah, very ballsy play up against Overpower, who himself has really set the world alight in some of his plays he's done, playing out multitude of champions. Not going to land the knock-up, though, on Kautar. And again, this trade, he seemed to be working pretty well for Kautar. Now got that barrel, managed to roll it out and catch Overpower off guard. Yeah, and just look at the damage you could actually do with body slam there when Overpower just got a little bit too close. Boom, hit him in for about 10% HP and keeping the pressure up on him. In the meantime, Youngbuck, he managed to pretty much run down. He didn't use his teleport. Oh, he did use his teleport down bot lane to get the entire wave, get the XP he needed once ROCCAT had actually pushed it in.
He got himself up to level 2 quick enough as well. So we'll see how this works out. Jankos coming in towards the top lane. Remember last time these guys tried this. Actually, Overpower, they're going to try and go towards him. Have they got enough to try and lock him down there? They are going to get the blade slam. Barrel's not going to land. They're going to tower it though. Yes, they will get it. And it's Kautar with the belly slam.
And such a nice play because Yasuo was pushing up the lane, and due to having the body slam and due to Yasuo being melee, he could actually get in range to land the slow, and then Amazing could come in. There was the wind wall coming up from Overpower, but it was not placed correctly, so he couldn't really use it for anything.
And now you can see Copenhagen Wolves continuing to push on this one. They're going to focus in towards the golems and keeping Jankos well away from that, helping out Zazas in that top lane turret. Meanwhile, Forgiven, he's going to come in there. They're going to try a 3-man stack on the top turret.
Yeah, Copenhagen Wolves keeping up the aggression. They already got the first blood. If they can manage to pick up a turret from this as well, the early game couldn't have been better for them.
Very good start here. Of course, we don't know how the bottom lane going at the moment. We do see Youngblood taken pretty low as well. But it's a 3-man stack in there. Unlimited's going to get focused on a bit. Remember, he's giving up a lot of kills. He's not going to be first, but this time around it was, of course, Overpower. That bottom lane, we do see Youngblood taken pretty low, and we do see Selavar and Vander. They're going to be pushing this one hard.
They want to push it in, especially because if you said to yourself, oh, they're going on Overpower again.
Oh, the wind wall being thrown out from Overpower, but it doesn't stop a big belly slam coming through it.
Now, just like you said, they want to keep shoving this lane in because the tower is more squishy than the top one, so they want to try and get it down early and maybe rotate around them, or at least get the dragon after they take this turret, and therefore force Copenhagen Wolves to lose the lane swap.
Yeah, you can see all the pressure that Copenhagen Wolves are trying to put on. They're actually even in towers. And remember, this top tower is buff. This is 4.1. This is going to be a very strong tower. They're doing a great job of taking it down so low early on.
They're putting a lot of pressure. This is what Caitlyn can do. Normally, Leona is not able to actually go in and really hit the turret due to taking too much damage, getting into the melee range. It's very risky if the jungler is nearby, like Jankos is here. So it's only Forgiving doing it, but he's doing a lot of damage and a very good job.
Continuing poking in. Jankos is forced to come back once again. Still at level 5, hasn't got that ultimate available, and he's actually ahead of Zazas in terms of levels.
And notice the smart move Copenhagen Wolves did. Amazing, he recalled away from the top lane, and then he just immediately went down to bot lane and helped Youngbok clear the wave and make sure that ROCCAT couldn't do too much damage to the turret. It is dropping fairly low though, so maybe not this one, but then the next wave they should be able to pick it up.
Dark Binding catching on towards Youngbok, and that tower is taken very, very low. Quickly bursting towards Vander, tries to use every ability he can to try and keep that turret alive, but Forgiven and the Copenhagen Wolves will be taking down the top turret first.
Yeah, so now they need to make sure they can shove off this lane so Trundle can freeze it. If they do put him in a position where he can actually freeze the wave, he's going to get a lot of farm before Youngbok can rotate up there. But they also need to make sure they recall in time to get down here and defend his turret. Actually, it won't be in time.
No, they're going to back off. This is going to be the turret going down. Son taking 2 tower hits there, though, a little bit unnecessarily. ROCCAT trade. But the bottom tower, definitely a lot weaker than that top one, so Copenhagen Wolves with good early pressure.
So now we have the issue for Copenhagen Wolves. Just as I talked about, they didn't actually push out the wave top because they want to recall so early. This means Trundle, he can now completely freeze it at his turret and just farm up all the time. And Youngbok, he needs to go for the dragon then, or needs to find something else to do, because he won't be able to go this far up in the top lane. There's too much of a risk of getting ganked.
We'll see what he does at the moment. He is sticking around that bottom lane actually, and I think realizing the situation, looks like he's going to stay and keep that experience, and maybe, just maybe, they are going to transition for the dragon.
Yeah, he just wanted his level 6, and now they're going towards the dragon. There is a teleport on Zazus, but if he goes away from this entire wave, he's going to keep being behind in XP, so they might want to try and force him to TP down.
And the whole 5 members of Copenhagen Wolves are here. Teleport is available for Zazas if he wants to come and join this fight. He is going to teleport in. Where's he going to go? Are they going to be able to lock in towards it? On towards that ward. But look at Copenhagen Wolves. They've already taken the dragon very low. It's going to be Zazas. Jankos tries to come in there, but it will be locked out. It's going to be the ultimate Cyclone coming on towards him. Vander taking low here. But Youngbok's going to get dropped. He's going to be the first one to go down. The barrel comes through. He's still alive. Zazas gets in. He manages to take him down. Now they're going towards Forgiven. ROCCAT again managing to close down. Can they get it? That's it. Assault battery on towards Forgiven. Can they lock out that AD carry? They're trying to get on towards him, but they will back off. They trade Youngbok's death for the dragon. Worth it for the Wolves.
Worth it for Copenhagen Wolves, and also they got Zazus to teleport a wave, so now he's been losing quite a lot of farm top. ROCCAT will try to put some aggression. No, Caitlyn is there. She should be able to wave clear this one.
Well, they're going to try and keep all those minions down. They're going to try and lock them up as much as possible. You can see Unlimited. He's got that shield on him. He's going to try and burst down those minions. They will take down the turrets. No, they're just going to hold off. Good pilt over Peacemaker. Forgiven and Unlimited doing their job.
Yeah, very nice wave clear between Leona and also Caitlyn. They managed to clear the wave. Zazus, he's going to return to this top lane. He's in the issue now that is pushing against him. It's actually going towards Youngbok, so once he returns up there, there's going to be a huge wave coming from him and a lot of farm he can pick up.
Now the Wolves turn their aggression in towards this middle turret. Can they focus down on that? I don't believe they've got enough damage, and quickly overpower blocks it off with that wind wall, but the blue buff steal may be on now.
Yeah, amazing. He's actually in a good position for this. Vander did ward it, so he's going to try and steal with bind. Not exactly enough versus the smite from Lee Sin. Now, back to normal lanes. Look at the wave bot lane. If they can actually shove this one in early, because the mid lane, or the bot lane for ROCCAT, they're standing in mid. They want to try and get this turret.
A fast, progressive game once again here. Zaza's going to make sure he can steal away this blue buff. Coutard needs to make a move here. They surely know that he's chomping away on that blue. Instead, they're choosing to stick around. Amazing's about to come around here. He's about to come straight in towards it. Oh, and he comes in and gets the blue. Zaza's all that work done is now going to get focused on. You already see him getting kicked away. You can see Coutard making a move. You can see Youngbok. They're all heading towards Zazas. He's in all sort of manner of trouble. There's no way out of him here. Amazing should be able to solo kill this one and gets it.
Okay, everything for Zazus and ROCCAT just went completely wrong. First, they lose their own blue buff to Amazing, then he runs all the way over, stops Zazus, the level 5 Trundle, to the level 6 or level 7 Lee Sin from taking the blue buff, kills him as well. And look at the entire wave up top lane he actually lost on this. He hasn't gained a single CS since he teleported down to Dragon, and they didn't even get anything other than 1 kill for it.
It is all backfired. Don't forget that bottom turret also just went down for the Copenhagen Wolves. So all the early aggression working out well for the Copenhagen Wolves. The initiation set that they've chosen and a 2 1,000 gold lead over the league leaders at the moment, ROCCAT. Gambit will be watching this one, licking their lips right now.
Definitely, but we have to remember Copenhagen Wolves have been in this position before, where they didn't manage to close out the games. And also ROCCAT have been in this position before, where they were behind and they managed to make a comeback through very nice team fights, and then, you know, claw their way back into the game and actually end up winning it. So this is still a very open game, but it's a very nice start for Copenhagen Wolves.
Countout in his mid lane has been doing a good job keeping that CS farm with Overpower. Overpower hasn't had too much of an impact just yet. He got called out, of course, early on by Amazing and Countout's aggression. And, you know, I do remember casting back to last week or 2 weeks ago, talking about how Amazing's impact on the game, how he's always involved in everything that Copenhagen Wolves do.
He's always the guy in the early games setting up the kills, helping the lanes, and this rotation from Copenhagen Wolves is so smart. They're forcing Lucian away from the bot lane so he can't farm, because they just rotate everyone to the mid, and now he's stuck in the mid lane together with the rest of ROCCAT, and he's not going to pick up any additional farm for this because he has to defend.
Dark Binding caught on Unlimited, but nothing's going to follow through on that one. The barrels and the Piltover Peacemakers are enough to keep everything at bay. But Youngbuck, well, he's been enjoying a lot of farm, and look at it, 65 CS to Zaz's 30. It's a big differential, all spelling from that single dragon play.
Yes, and then also to the fact that Zazos went for the blue buff instead of trying to stay in the lane and get some XP. He's only level 6 at this point. There will be a good wave for him coming, but this means that Copenhagen Wolves can have pressure the mid turret because Zazos is left up top.
Kautar's going to try and separate someone. It's Jankos that comes in now. Youngbuck comes around the side. Ace in the hole being used out there. Does manage to get his ultimate off as well. And that's going to keep ROCCAT at bay. They didn't manage to get the tower down. Bit of a lack of focus there from the Wolves.
Yeah, but also very hard to fight between two turrets. Especially at this point, you're still fairly squishy. Nobody can really tank it up. It was a nice engage though from Youngbuck. He hit multiple people. And he managed to decoy actually the Dark Binding from Vander, so he didn't die.
So Barrel continues to push them away, and ROCCAT, well, they're having to use a 3-man defense to keep this tower safe. Forgiven once again, getting some free shots, having to use good wind wall coming out from Overpower to protect that turret as long as possible while that minion wave gets taken down. Forgiven does get a little bit of free time, but not as much as he would have without that wind wall.
Now Youngbuck, he's returning to the top lane. He want to pick up the farm that Zazos is leaving, or at least shove the wave all the way out so it resets. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, look at the wave being built up. Caitlyn will walk down at some point and just take up all the gold for her. And now the rest of Copenhagen Wolves, they want to keep punishing Zazos.
We do see Amazing and Unlimited closing around. Oh, Zazas hasn't backed away. He's in all sorts of trouble. He's going to get kicked into danger if he tries to flee this one. We see him getting punted in towards the bushes. Where's he going to go? Has to use that ultimate down, but you can see Unlimited. He's going to come around. He's going to lock him up. Youngbuck's taken very low here. He's going to make sure he gets caught out. Safeguard is being used, and Amazing's going to keep on towards him. Youngbuck's just going to kite it round. Unlimited wasn't needed. It's the kill picked up by Amazing.
And once again, they punish Zazos every time they have the chance. Kautar is left in the mid lane together with Caitlyn. They won't be able to defend this.
So it will be a turret for a death. Not really worth it there. ROCCAT making good position and advantage. We do see Solar Flare available. Oh, Unlimited thought about it. There was a ward placed in that bush. Didn't go aggressive.
So again, the whole plan for Copenhagen Wolves was to keep the two wave clear champions in mid and try and defend the turret, while the rest could go up top and pick up the kill. Unlimited didn't actually have to move because he wasn't even an impact in this one, but it's always easier to say afterwards.
So Youngbuck triple Dorans on Wukong, of course. Had a little bit of trouble early on. Giant wave down the bottom being pinged out. I believe that's going to be Forgiven and may well head that direction. We'll see which way it goes. At the moment, it's just going to be happy to deal with itself. Youngbuck actually has gone towards the top. He's going to continue farming up against Zaza. Still has that level advantage over him, but as you just saw, it's a pretty even trade still, despite the fact he's level down. Dragon up.
Now, both top laners have to teleport. Vision-wise, look at the position here for Copenhagen Wolves. They are more towards the mid lane. They're actually going on overpower.
Oh, Kautar had to use the explosive cast out. I believe it got blocked out by that wind wall, despite the fact it was a strange diagonal wind wall. That was the explosive cast used.
It was. He's now down. It's actually an amazing wind wall coming from him. I'm not sure it was intended, but if it was damn beautiful.
Well, you always got to give them the benefit of the doubt. These pro players, they always intend what happens. Of course they do. Jankos, so starting off this blue buff, and it's going to be him that will take it, I feel. I don't think he's going to give it across to Vander, so he's going to be continuing. The Dragon's still up and available, but again, Copenhagen Wolves not making a move just yet.
No, but Yasuo just went back, got the item he needs. He got a static shift now. That's a lot of his base burst potential from this. And at the meantime, though, Caitlyn picked up the big wave bot, and now Copenhagen Wolves are starting this dragon. If they can pick this one up as well, they're looking very, very good.
Both top laners do have teleport available, but both have interrupts as well, don't forget. So Copenhagen Wolves, they have a good position. They will take this before the ROCCAT manage to intervene, and they do take it down. The culling being used from Silver. Zazas did teleport into this one, but the rest of the Wolves are going to back away, and Limited has to flash away. He's going to get tunneled in there. He's going to get caught with his own battery. Good wind wall coming out from Overpower. But look at that, Solar Flare from Unlimited blocks onto the entire ROCCAT team, and he's just going to walk away from this one. Amazing kicks everyone back out from ROCCAT. Fantastic stuff. The Wolves hit and run.
But like, great play everywhere here. First the wind wall, blocking out the rest of Copenhagen Wolves from coming in. But then Unlimited, he just lands his ultimate on 3 people, and after the black shield is gone, we see Lee Sin coming in and kicking multiple people away.
And look at that, the whole time, don't forget, Youngbuck wasn't even there. Again, getting all that farm in that top lane, free farming his way to victory right now over Zazas. He's now got 2 levels over him, which is why we see Jankos going to come up and try and help out.
Yeah, Jankos really needs to stay around this because they need to make sure that Zazas can pick up this big wave coming in for him. He will get it because Youngbuck is recalling. But Copenhagen Wolves, they need to use this advantage they have on the top lane. They need to use the advantage with the fact that their frontline tank is so much stronger than ROCCAT's, and then start some fight if they can get it and get a pick somewhere.
Well, Coutard almost got that Zhonya's Hourglass completed. Interesting first item for him actually on their Gragas. So go for that Zhonya's Hourglass. Again, another great wind wall from Overpower, really starting to stop those barrels.
But the Zhonya's will completely shut down the combo of Vi Yasuo, because if Vi puts it on you and you pop the Zhonya's, nothing happens, you're not going to get knocked up, which means Yasuo cannot jump you, and it's actually very smart. If Forgiven then later on picks on, let's say, again, a Guardian Angel or something to make sure that he also can survive the burst coming in, they can actually completely shut down Yasuo.
Well, looks like Static Shift's going to get picked up by Forgiven. He's heading that way after that Bloodthirster. And actually, we should touch on that because Sullivan really is quite far behind in terms of item builds right now. I feel he's probably sat on quite a bit of gold. He's just just completed that Bloodthirster. But again, he's almost he's a half an item behind. He went Berserker Greaves instead.
But this is also credit to Copenhagen Wolves for the way they moved around the map. Because when there was this huge wave coming in, the huge wave in the bot lane, they forced him to move away from it and instead going to defend the mid lane. This meant he didn't pick up any CS except for maybe 5 or 6 in there while defending. And meanwhile, Caitlyn just walked down bot lane when the wave came to his tower and picked up every single CS.
ROCCAT in danger of being pushed out of this game. Copenhagen Wolves have started well, but now we are moving into danger territory for the Wolves. This is where they tend to lose track of their game.
This is where we need to see the decision making from them, and this is definitely where we need to see them learning from yesterday's mistakes and also last week's mistakes. So far they've been doing a good job.
Well, let's see if they go a little over aggressive here. Youngbuck using his mimic on towards Jankos, making sure he doesn't get caught out. The rest of the Wolves are pushing up. They're going to try and put the pressure. This turret will go down here, I feel, but no, again, ROCCAT doing a grand defensive job.
Yeah, the wind wall and also a nice pillar actually blocking them, Copenhagen Wolves from coming and hitting. Oh, Coutard throwing down his ultimate for some harass.
Trying to blow someone back. Salavar almost caught out by that one. Jankos still waiting off at the side here. Wants to focus onto either Youngbuck or Forgiven. Of course, Youngbuck last time around, he has got that Cyclone available. Will he try and go for it? The barrels again come from Coutard. He's trying to get them in at the side this time because Overpower keeps shutting them off with that wind wall. This time they are going to go in. It's Forgiven he focuses on. Forgiven does go very deep from this one. Overpower so quick to follow through with that ultimate. It's got a really long range, but they don't get him down. Jankos now, he's going to get dropped instead. Oh, Coutard does use that Zhonya's Hourglass. He's going to come out. Has he got enough to get away? No, doesn't manage to get the barrel out in time either. And the ROCCAT are just closing down towards the rest of Copenhagen Wolves. They do manage to get themselves 2-for-1 kills. Very good ulti combo from Overpower and Jankos.
And this combo forced the rest of the Copenhagen Wolves to back off with Forgiven and try and defend him all the time, so they weren't able to hit anyone in the backline. And Overpower, he barely took any damage because everyone, they went for Jankos and they wanted to kill him. This meant the rest of ROCCAT could once again, or what, not once again, but could pick up 2 kills.
Yeah, and 2 important kills as well. But Forgiven's still alive, and they're still keeping the pressure on this mid lane turret. There's still a gold advantage for the Copenhagen Wolves, and they still keep on pushing.
And one thing I noticed with the way Copenhagen Wolves does this push is they give every single CS to Forgiven. Coutard, he was standing up here just harassing the people on the turret, while Forgiven was picking up every single one. Celavar, he has to fight for the CS when he hits the turret, so that's also why he constantly is going to be behind.
He's falling further and further as well. 40 CS, Red Buff's going to get picked up by Forgiven. He's also making his move down to the bottom. Let's see how the champions are starting to be built out here, because we mentioned, of course, that Zhonya's Hourglass being picked up by Coutard. Yasuo, well, we expect him to go for that Infinity Edge on that Overpower. Top laners, though, I'm interested to see how Youngbuck's going to build out here.
Yeah, so he has the Giants build. It means he can go into something like a Random's Omen, spin into the rest of the team, pop it while he's spinning around, so he slows them and also knocks them up. It's a pretty good combo. It makes it fairly tanky as well, due to the physical damage on Yasuo. We have physical damage on Celevar. We have physical damage on the Trundle as well with the auto attacks. So there isn't really any magic damage, except for maybe the Vander, who's not going to do too much. So just stacking full armor for Copenhagen Wolves side is going to mean they will be very hard to kill for ROCCAT.
Static Shiv was completed by Forgiven. We'll see how that works out in their favour as they continue to try and keep the pressure on this middle turret. Coulthard chasing on towards Overpower there. Solar Flare being used, blows him, locks him up here, and Overpower may have to flash out of this one. Ace in the hole's going to come through, the damage is there. Overpower goes down.
Again, very nice move by Copenhagen Wolves. We have the Dragon up in 30 seconds. If they can take this mid turret and then also take the Dragon, they just keep punishing ROCCAT every single time.
They're going to keep on pushing. We see coming around the side, Vander and Jankos in all sorts of trouble. Cyclone catches on towards Vander. Vander taken very low, pops his own ultimate, but flashes just in time to get out that Zenith play. But look at that, amazing, lands the kick and follows through, taking him down.
And again, this is the aggressive, the decision making from Copenhagen Wolves. It's a lot better this game. Everyone on the team has been stepping up, and now Dragon is spawning in 5 seconds. They can pick this one up for free because ROCCAT is not in a position to fight.
So Dragon will be taken for the Copenhagen Wolves, and I feel we really should point out, coming into the promotion series, moving into the European LCS spring split season, Copenhagen Wolves were the favourites. They were the #1 team that everybody avoided in that picks and when everybody was choosing the team. And they kind of now are finally proving why. They lost their way a little bit in the last few weeks.
They lost their way a little bit, but we have to remember Challenger scene and then LCS. There is a big difference. You have to get used to the fact you need to prepare for every single game insanely much, because every team you're going to face will do this to you. They will prepare picks, everything. They will look at every move you make and make sure they have a tactic against this. So this is what you need to get used to getting into LCS. And I think Copenhagen Wolves, if they can keep improving from this, and if the shot calling can keep improving, they can also be one of the better teams in Europe.
Oh, amazing! Just got spotted out there. Jankos and Zazas moving in position. Vander there as well. Amazing is all on his own. He's going to have to use that ward to safeguard himself through the Baron pit.
It's really hard to catch out Lee Sin with all the mobility. He could also even have used his Sonic Wave to the Baron, jumped over the wall, so he had a lot of chances to get out. What is a bit, they really want these very aggressive wards from Copenhagen Wolves side into the jungle of ROCCAT. This could mean potentially they want to try and set something up between the top and mid lane. Now, look how they're moving towards the top.
Zazas, there's 3 members coming towards him, 4 members, sorry, they're going to lock him up. Solar Flare's going to land, the Cyclone comes out, Zazas is going to go down here. The question is, how is he going to escape? He tries to flash through, but look at Coulthard following through. The barrel will roll on towards him, explosive pass says, no, you shall not pass. The barrel comes in, and Coulthard gets another kill.
Coulthard gets the kill, 3 members get the assist, and they don't lose anything elsewhere. He's pushing down, Overpower is pushing this bot turret, but Forgiven will come down, and it's such a small wave, he can't do anything with it.
Yeah, Forgiven will sort that one out, 90 caliber nets to make sure he gets in, just gets those extra little bit of CS towards the end there. Make sure he keeps Overpower from pushing. 7-3 in kills, and it's a 6,000 gold lead now for the Copenhagen Wolves.
And this time around, it's actually ROCCAT overextending, getting in some bad fights where Copenhagen Wolves can punish them without giving anything up elsewhere on the map. It's normally ROCCAT who's always getting these picks and then taking something, or split pushing, getting the turrets down. This time around, though, Copenhagen Wolves is doing a very good job.
Sullivan went for the Legolas build, which is the Bloodthirster and Last Whisper being picked up by them. He really is the only one with the positive KDA as well at the moment for ROCCAT. Zazas singing his praises at the start, but he's been caught out in a few too many situations here. Was kind of a little uncomfortable in that 2v1 start. Oh, Unlimited trying to start something on towards Jankos. Knew that he'd gone in towards that bush. They will clear out that pink ward. And ROCCAT, they're in a little bit of danger here. Vander's going to get ace in the hole. They're going to use the talisman. They're trying to go towards him. Barrel will roll out there, but he will keep himself safe. Or will he? Youngbuck goes deep, and that's going to be a wind wall that's not going to stop them out there. They're going to focus back in. Teleport from Zazas comes in there. Coulthard taking a lot of damage coming out from Sullivan. Sullivan will focus back on towards them. They do go deep on towards the backside. Forgiven is going to get taken down. ROCCAT are doing really great work here. Youngbuck trying to do what he can to keep them at bay, but now he's going to get focused on. Another knocker. Cyclone way too late, and ROCCAT get themselves a 3rd kill.
The wind wall from Overpower once again blocked the ultimate from Coulthard. He did no damage with it, it was completely destroyed there, and then the teleport came in from Sasus and he just managed to get in the face. Celevar, he came in from behind of them, he hit the calling on 2 members, he just got them so low from this, and ROCCAT from there on could just chase on the fight. Now, can they pick up this Baron?
Well, it's going to be very hard. Amazing's got his job his work cut out here. Unlimited doing what he can, but Salivar's running the risk. Oh, Overpower, he's just beaten down. Amazing. He's not really been able to stop it. Unlimited gets picked off, and that is surely now going to be the Baron for ROCCAT. Amazing is being kept around, but Vander's running interference, and ROCCAT, after a game, you know, we talk about it so many times. Copenhagen Wolves, that gap, 15 minutes to 25. They have a brain fart, and they managed to throw the game some way. I don't understand. I mean, they had the aggression, they made the right moves, but ROCCAT really punished them this time.
They made the right move up until the dive. They actually got ROCCAT so low they could have just pick up the turret and not take any fight. Instead, though, Youngbuck went in, he wanted to fight for this one, and then due to the wind wall also blocking Kautar's ultimate, they didn't really have much damage. They only managed to pick up Vander, and then the rest of ROCCAT was completely untouched. Teleport came in, and also Salivar from behind there, so he did a lot of damage to Copenhagen Wolves, and they didn't have anything to respond with afterwards. So a little bit too greedy dive.
So pressure on towards Copenhagen Wolves. They still have a gold advantage. It is a 3,000 gold differential, but ROCCAT are going to be feeling they are much stronger. Of course, they have the Baron, the Infinity Edge of Static Shift, now completed by Overpower. He will be doing insane damage, followed by Jankos without Assault and Battery.
Yeah, Overpower has his key items now. He's more or less going to crit on every single hit he does. So once we see the combo with Jankos and Salivar jumping in, they should be able to pick up a kill. So far, Forgiven haven't picked up a defensive item yet, because he's actually not been getting too much other than just farm. They haven't picked up any new turrets, and at the same time, they just lost the Baron and the last team fight.
And this is the problem, because Amazing and Youngbuck, they've both gone for Randy and Zoma, but they're not going to be the focus. Well, Amazing, Youngbuck maybe a little bit, but they don't care about Amazing. He's going to be going in there. It's Forgiven that needs to start doing something to stop him getting focused.
Yeah, Forgiven really has to stay a long way back and make sure he's not the engaged target for Jankos. Oh, facing here on Amazing.
Jankos does come in, but the rest of ROCCAT chasing, so they've got to be careful they don't follow through. Amazing does use that safeguard, gets himself away from it, catching the situation off guard. Youngbuck, pings going down onto him. Overpower, ready and waiting.
So even though Copenhagen Wolves now are against this Baron team ROCCAT, what they actually have to do teamfight-wise is they have to do the engage. If they wait for Vi to do it, she will be able to catch on to Forgiven, and they can start the fight. If, however, it is Youngbuck and Amazing jumping into the face of ROCCAT, they force them to turn on them and start doing some damage, and that's where all the armor stacking is going to work.
We'll see how it develops as this game moves into the 27 minutes. Certainly action from both of these teams in the early phases, and not something we were expecting. You know, we talked about it in the picks and bans that Copenhagen Wolves did go for an initiation team. This time around, ROCCAT, they're going to be the ones starting off the Dragon. Nothing the Wolves can do to prevent it.
But we also talked in the Champs League how ROCCAT would prefer a slow early game to get the key items they need. Again, the Infinity Edge and Static Shift is one of the key, or two of the key items they really need. So just the fact they just survived the early game, and then we are now into this mid kind of late game scenario, is very good for them, and this is really where their champions start to shine. Except for maybe Sasus, who's still very far behind because he got shot down so hard early.
Yeah, and that may be a problem, the fact they do lack that tank. Salivar, oh, Ace in the hole going to focus on him. That's going to get blocked off by Jankos. And look at that, Solar Flare being used. Now quickly, well, Culling being used as well by Salivar, not really focused on any damage. So a couple of ultimates being thrown by both members.
And this right here is one of the reasons people prefer Lucian over something like a Jinx, because you have this dash to avoid, for instance, getting kicked back by Lee Sin. Had this been a Jinx, you would have been knocked back into Unlimited, been stun locked, and maybe even taken down.
To land it. Wukong continuing to get that farm down that bottom lane, Youngbuck. And we see Zaz. Zaz has been off on his own, split push farming the entire time. He's trying to keep himself, trying to get himself back relevant in this game.
Yeah, I mean, he's doing the right thing, and ROCCAT is doing the right thing as a team. They only call him down if there really is a big fight, and he is using his teleport. He just stays as much as he can farming, and he's actually catching up in CS because Youngbuck, he's been with the team, and he's been trying to set up fights, and they haven't, well, at least the last one didn't work for them at all.
And I feel that actually the Copenhagen Wolves, you know, they've done a good job at keeping ROCCAT. They had this Baron for the last, 3-4 minutes. It's about to run out, so 4 minutes. And they've done nothing with it.
No, but we need to keep in mind they're still behind in goal. Copenhagen Wolves was so far ahead that the Baron buff itself didn't even do that much. And we also need to keep in mind that ROCCAT really want to go late game with this combo. They really want to get to the point where, first of all, Sasus is able to tank Copenhagen Wolves, and they also want to get to the point where Yasuo can just kill people instantly.
I kind of feel that they've done their homework, because Copenhagen Wolves are a team that will go late game, that's for sure. They really lack the conviction to finish off games. At the moment, oh, Unlimited's going to get punched and kicked away from Jankos there. Beating away, Kautar's going to roll out the barrel. He will catch on towards them. Jankos, the tankiest member of the team so far. Zazas is continuing this split push, and this is starting to start being a bit of a nuisance for them because they only really have Wukong to counter this.
Yeah, and Wukong is in the very wrong lane at the moment. He's not doing any pressure down here. He's so far away from any turret, so Zazas was able to just freely push the wave all the way in, pick up a lot of free CS. He wisely enough backs off because Kautot is moving over, and the rest of ROCCAT is not in a position to follow or do something else.
He clears that out. Baron up in 1 minute 50. There is a pink on there, but really not a lot of other ward coverage in and around that Baron area. It's all going to be timing out before that Baron is up.
And if you look at the items here, we have already the pickaxe onto Yasuo. He reads all ult coming on Celavar.
Celavar completely got out of position. Zenith Blade locks him on, and he is going down. Celavar, an unusual positional error.
Yeah, he's one of the most safe AD carries. He almost never get caught out. He didn't expect this one to just land straight in his face after the dash. It was a very nice ultimate by Unlimited, and it means Copenhagen Wolves can now pressure up.
Perfectly timed as well. The Baron just wore off, and well, the Copenhagen Wolves, a 5-man push on towards this inhibitor turret. The inner down, Amazing going to get locked up, but he is very tanky. And again, they're just going to keep that focus on. This time the barrel does land, doesn't really do a great deal of damage though, but it's just going to keep that pressure down. Forgiven, working on towards that turret, continuing to poke it down. The walls being thrown out, Overpower trying to get that knock up. He's going to try and do what he can. Youngblood going to go in there. Cyclone being used. They all go piling in. Zazas going to be focused on that tower very low. They need to finish it off. Inhibitor turret goes down. Now they're free to focus on Zazas. He's going to get locked up. That will be another kill. And now they're going to back away. ROCCAT with an exposed inhibitor, just trying to run defensive duties. Youngblood doing a great job locking in towards there. Overpower tries to come in, but gets focused down. And they turn him round. Vander with the ultimate. He's going to lock down Forgiven. Forgiven's going to get focused down. He gets taken down. Celavar doing the job at the moment. Amazing. Kicks him away, beats him back there. Unlimited running defensive duties there, popping that shield on towards Jankos. They will be able to focus him down upfield. They're calling, a flash from Unlimited keeps him away, and the Barrow will secure their retreat. And back and forth action. The Copenhagen Wolves, though, took 2 towers with that push.
They got 2 turrets and they only lost 1 member. It was definitely worth it for them. We have to notice, though, the decision making here for them. As soon as they saw Jankos moving back towards the fountain, they immediately went for the dive. Picked up the turret, picked up the kills they need. We're going to see it right here. Notice how Jankos is completely out because he's back in the fountain. So they're going for this dive, just focusing down Zazas. There's not enough damage on ROCCAT side because there's no knock-up for Overpower to actually go on. That's why he's waiting for Jankos to come in here, and he goes for this one. And instantly Overpower jumps with him, wants to hit on Forgiven. They won't be able to take him down due to the rest of Copenhagen Wolves just instantly collapsing on them. Yeah, Celavar comes in from behind though, and this time Forgiven gets locked up by the Morgana ultimate and will be taken down.
So fantastic stuff, but Baron is back up, and you can see there's starting to have some action around there. Baron being warded out, Pink was being thrown down by the Wolves. And ROCCAT quickly reacting to this one. So next focus almost certainly will be the Baron. Dragon's going to be up in 40 seconds, but neither team will be interested in that one just yet.
And Forgiven, he's a real man. He's not even thinking about defensive items at the moment, even though he is the focused target for ROCCAT. He just bought a straight up new BF sword.
Well, he is Greek, so, you know, maybe he's part of the 300, going all manly in that front line Forgiven. He's going to keep being focused, to be honest. You know, Jankos and Overpower will almost certainly be going for him every single fight. It's just a case of whether Unlimited can do what he can. You can see he's gone for the Chaos Crucible, wants to try and keep him free and healthy. I'm wondering whether he's maybe even going to sell at Durham's Blade and get himself a red pot in there ready and waiting.
He could do that, I mean, just for some more damage here. But what Copenhagen Wolves need to do, we touched on it earlier, is they need to make the engage. If they start the fight and get their tanks into the face of ROCCAT, completely shut out Celavar, maybe even force Yasuo to go on one of them, they can make sure to do no damage with this very heavy armor build. And then also, Forgiven can stay safe, because he's really banking on the rest of the team to help him out.
Well, the Copenhagen Wolves selling ROCCAT down the river there because they were lulling him into a false sense, thinking they were going for that Baron instead. They want to focus on this inner turret in the top lane. ROCCAT trying to rotate around there, but look at Kauta running defensive duties. Anyone that comes around will get picked off. Youngblood also in there, and that's going to be the turret being pinged down very heavily. Zazas is not even involved in this fight. He's down the bottom lane trying to keep you pushed out there. A couple more shots. Solar Flare used. Overpower getting locked up. Ace in the hole's going to come through. It's going to be enough. The Cyclone catches on towards him. Overpower getting knocked out of this fight. Zazas teleporting in. Does manage to get on towards Youngblood. This could get turned around now. Assault Battery locks in there. Quickly Overpower follows through. Overpower doing duties. You can see the Static Shiv and Infinity Edge working beautifully in unison together. And well, Celavar just knocks down the team. The Copenhagen Wolves, they may have got the tower, but they lose 4-1 one in deaths, and that's going to be another Baron for ROCCAT.
And it's going to be another Baron for ROCCAT, yeah. And what happened was they went for overpower, but they didn't manage to kill him. Kautar's ultimate actually knocked him away, so ROCCAT could just disengage from there once Trundle actually came into the fight and just pick up the kills. And the damage overpower is doing right now with these two, with both his Last Whisper, his Infinity Edge, and his Static Shift is insane. If ROCCAT can pick up this Baron now and really start pressuring down Copenhagen Wolves' base, they will be in the lead. Because there's a lot of turrets they can actually pick up, and also a Dragon who's alive they can take and get back.
Well, we'll see what they do with it this time around. They didn't do a great deal last time, but this time they have the items they wanted. And the difference here is the fact that Xaxus is now relevant in this game. He's got 2,000 gold in him, by the way. So he could do with spending some of that and maybe locking out a couple of those items, but they will just farm out. Dragon is still up, don't forget, it's going to be worth quite a bit of gold now. Amazing sniffing around that, and well, Copenhagen Wolves may try and lock that one up.
And one thing we actually have to touch on with the last fight, the fact that Youngblood, he got into, you know, the backline of ROCCAT, but he wasn't able to do any damage, and they more or less just ignored him. And now we might see a fight.
Oh, the front Temple of... I don't know what the temple is. I don't know what the temple of...
It's definitely a pillar.
The pillar of ice. Maybe it's a temple, I don't know. They're going to get it. It's amazing that locks it up. Quickly safeguards out.
Alright, so again, issue for Copenhagen Wolves in the very last fight was the fact that ROCCAT completely ignored Youngblood. Even though he was in the backline, they didn't even bother hitting him. And Jankos, he just saved his ultimate until Forgiven made one misstep, got a little bit too close, and then he locked him down. ROCCAT, if they can keep playing the team fight, you know, this coordinated and with the patience they had before, it's going to be very, very hard for Copenhagen to do anything, especially also because he's now building towards a Banshee.
It's also very hard for me to keep track of it. He's overpower and Jankos diving in very quickly in these team fights. It's hard to track.
I have to say I'm not a fan of the Banshee he's about to build. It's going to be too easy for ROCCAT to pop and then do the same engage. He needs to build a Guardian Angel so he can survive the ultimates from both Jankos and overpower, respawn, and then he can just start hammering away when two ultimates are gone. He doesn't need a Banshee.
Well, he could still build into the Banshees, you know.
I'm saying he doesn't need it.
No, well, I mean, yeah, that's very true. He doesn't need it. He's not going to do it, yeah, because I see what you're saying. He's going to get popped very quickly, but actually, who's going to be popping it?
Well, Celavar can pop it fairly easy, Vanda can pop it fairly easy, and actually going in the mid lane here.
Instead, they're going to use the ace in the hole on Celavar, and this time Youngblood does teleport in. That's a little bit of a waste. Quick disengage there. Talisman being used to help them get away.
Alright, reset everything here. Xaxus is still in the bot lane pushing away. He actually picked up a Frozen Heart to again try and shut down Forgiven. They see him as the only damage threat at the moment. They don't even value Kautar because he's Gragas, yeah, but he's the only source then if they can completely shut down Forgiven, which they've been doing in every single fight so far.
Uh-oh, Overpower caught out of position here. This time the wind wall, well, it's not going to stop that barrel. It will do work though. Solar Flare being used. Kautar taking down so low. Look at the damage coming out from Overpower. Almost single-handedly taking him down in a 2v1. Vanda comes in. He's going to focus on Unlimited. Tries to get on towards Kautar, but he's on the turret. Zonya's hourglass going to be used out here. Celavar comes in to try and help them out. Meanwhile, this is happening down the bottom. You can see there's a to and fro going on. Xaxus is going to get that turret down in the bottom lane. Unlimited to keeping them at bay. Amazing. And we do see Forgiven in there. Youngblood just forced away. Youngblood cannot solo Xaxus anymore.
Now this Wukong pick has completely lost its value. He has no chance in the 1v1 because Xaxus has been able to farm up so much. He's been farming the side lanes pretty much all the time. And this is a big issue for Copenhagen Wolves because ROCCAT, they're just going to keep him there. They love to split push and they know how to do this in the late game part. So Copenhagen Wolves, they need to either send Kautar down to defend or Forgiven, which means they won't have damage for the team fight.
Youngblood's going to find Xaxus again. We'll see what he can do against him. It's most so far not a great deal. Waving well at the top there, Celavar once again using that Cullen. Oh, deep aggression from Amazing. They're going to continue on there. The Cyclone doing work, but he's all on his own. Youngblood's just going to get locked up there. Xaxus gone towards Kautar. Kautar as well, he's respawned, but that Pillar of Ice will be back available. There it is, locking him back on towards it again. Amazing. Straight away getting locked down there. That is a double coup being picked up by Celavar. ROCCAT with the Baron buff. You've got to wonder what the hell Copenhagen Wolves were thinking engaging out there.
Definitely not the right move, and ROCCAT are just punishing Copenhagen Wolves every single time they make a misstep. And this has been, again, the story of Copenhagen Wolves. They don't know how to handle these situations, and ROCCAT is one of the best teams in Europe by simply coming back and knowing how to teamfight properly.
Inhibitor turret down, Inhibitor will follow, and remember it was the Copenhagen Wolves that took down the Inhibitor turret first. Oh, Vanda using the ultimate, it's going to lock up Amazing. Will they follow through and towards it? They're focusing on Forgiven in the top lane. Now they're going to go towards Amazing. He's going to get shut down, and ROCCAT could finish the game right here. Great comeback from them. The Copenhagen Wolves, I feel they may well have thrown this game away. The calling coming out for Gibbons, going to get focused down. He's going to get dropped where he stands. ROCCAT Solar Flare comes out from Unlimited. There's nothing you can do about this one. They're going to take taken down. And ROCCAT, well, they keep their position at #1 in the European League. And wow, they had to work for it this time against the Copenhagen Wolves.
It was definitely harder for ROCCAT this time around than they had expected. They really needed to pull out everything, and they need to show great map control, but also great team fights. Every single time they managed to punish Copenhagen Wolves for a team fight, they could either take the Baron or just keep pushing down turrets. So we have to say, well played to ROCCAT. They managed to do the team fights really well. We also have to give Copenhagen Wolves credit for the early game. They actually really managed to shut down Sasus and also the rest of ROCCAT.
They played really well this time around. They had the advantage. You know, they had I think it was about 6,000 gold advantage in that game, the Copenhagen Wolves. But ROCCAT, again, they managed to turtle it out. They managed to focus. And it was really the Wolves just making a couple of errors, just a few errors. And if you think back to the Alliance game yesterday, it's exactly the same. Up against